You're like, don't be, and just relax.
Sure.
What do you have for breakfast?
Nothing. I haven't done anything today.
Okay.
I'll do it after this, right? But I have a session later. I think can get some.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for audience to come. This live, so audience yet.
Oh, there's no audience yet. Okay. So we will wait until 10, is it?
Just give you a moment. Shall we start?
Yeah, to you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for joining our Facebook Live session today. With you here today is me, Darshini, I'll be your moderator, and we have our in-house dietitian, Ms. Krystal Ng, who's going to take us through the topic of cancer and diet.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are doing good.
Okay, so the main thing that we always get on our inbox, on people calling us every day asking, I have cancer, what should I eat? So diet itself is actually a very big topic. So today what we're going to do is we're going to drill down to the two main components of nutrients, which is protein and fiber. So Krystal is going to take us through these two main topics today and enlighten you all with all the insightful tips that you all require for today. So Krystal, take us through this.
Okay. So basically, many people with cancer are urged to eat a healthy diet. They will take a plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. But does everyone needs that much? Yeah. So because when you are healthy, eating enough food is not often a problem. But when you are dealing with cancer and treatments, this can be a very challenging for you. Yeah. So let's talk about the first nutrients, which is fiber. So what is fiber? Fiber basically is a nutrients that naturally come from plants, which our body cannot digest it. When we take fiber, it can help us to cleanse our colon by removing all the waste through our colons and out of our bodies. And according to research has shown that by taking sufficient fiber every day, it can help you to reduce the risk of getting colorectal cancer by at least 17%.
Oh, that's very high.
Yeah. In addition, other than that, when we take sufficient fiber, right, it will keep you feel full longer, and so it will help you to maintain a healthy body weight. As we know, overweight or obese is one of the risk factors of getting cancer. If you are able to maintain a healthy weight by consuming sufficient fiber, it can help you to reduce your risk of getting cancer in overall.
Okay, but as you mentioned just now, you said that our body cannot digest fiber, right? But I thought fiber aids digestion. So maybe you can explain that. I'm sure many of them have the same doubt as well.
Yeah, because of its characteristic, because our body cannot digest it. That's why it will combine with it will act like a brush. It will combine with the waste through our colons and carry out of our body.
I see. Okay, so how do we know how much of fiber do we need? Is there a particular amount that we need to take every day?
Yeah, I believe that this is also a common question. So, how do we need to achieve? How much do we need to achieve? So, okay. So for everyone, we have the same recommend. This is the recommendation for every single of you. So we need to take at least 30 grams of fiber every day. How to achieve this 30 grams? We can get 30 grams of fibers from 4 servings of whole grains, 1 servings of legumes, 2 servings of fruits, and 3 servings of non-starchy vegetables. What does that non-starchy vegetables referring to? So it's referred to those vegetable doesn't contain any carbohydrate. So other than tubers like potatoes or yam, the rest are considered non-starchy vegetables.
Okay, so how do you actually calculate 1 serving? Because you said 4 servings of whole grains and 1 serving of legumes and 2 servings of fruits. Like, how do you calculate per serving?
Okay, so for example, for whole grains, one servings of if you are taking rice, one servings of whole grains is equivalent to one fish size. And if you are taking bread, if you are taking wholemeal bread, one serving of wholemeal bread is 2 slices. How about for legumes? So one serving of legumes is equivalent to one medium bowl of red bean porridge. Yeah. How about fruits? So one serving of fruits is equivalent for one handful of fruits. Like for example, apple, like one whole apple. Like for example, if you are taking kismis, it's about like one handful. Yeah. So for vegetables, one serving of cooked vegetables is 4 tablespoons, but for raw vegetables, we will advise double of the portions, which is 8 tablespoons.
Okay, so basically what you're actually saying is that our hand is a very important measurement tool. So people out there, please make good use of your hands. And what happens actually if you take more fiber than you require? Okay, let's say you say 4 servings of whole grains, which means 4 fist of rice, right?
Yeah.
Malaysians love their rice, so especially me, I take like a lot of rice. So what happens actually if we take too much fiber?
Basically, we hardly see that people will take more than 4 servings of whole grains. Yeah, because when you take more than that, because when you take fiber, right, as we have discussed just now, when we take fiber, it will make you feel full longer. That's why you won't take a lot at one time. So but for certain people, if we take more than that, for certain people, like they cannot really tolerate with fiber food. So if they overconsume it, they might experience few symptoms such as bloating, gassy. You will feel your stomach very gassy, a lot of gas, or you will feel stomach discomfort like cramps or pain.
Okay. And actually, my neighbor last time, right, she told me that she was consuming low fiber diet. And low fiber diet means very little vegetables, very little fruits. But what I understand is that a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits means healthy diet. So I'm a bit confused actually. And I think a lot of people out there also have the same confusion, right? So maybe you can explain to us, like, when do we actually opt out for low fiber diet?
Okay. So in general, everyone needs high fiber food to maintain a healthy gut, to maintain a healthy digestive system in order to prevent many types of cancer. Right? But still, there are certain groups that we would suggest to go for low fiber. So who are they? So like for example, like if you are just diagnosed with colorectal cancer, or you presented with tumors, or you have presented with any sign and symptoms, for example, bloody stool. So before going for treatments or before going to surgery, we will advise for low fiber food. Yeah. Other than that, if you are just completed your surgery at your abdominal part, we will also advise you to rest your bowel for 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. So other than that, like for those people who are on stomach bag, actually we will still advise to take fiber food, but we will introduce it slowly.
Okay. So how to limit the fiber intake? Because like you said earlier, we need 30 grams of fiber, right? So how do we go lower than that? Like how to limit the intake?
Okay. Before we go for that, I hope everyone still remember the main source of fiber just now. Yeah. So there's a tips for us to limit fiber. Yeah. So the first thing is, if you are taking fruits and vegetables, you need to remove the skin of fruits and vegetables. And if you are making fruit juice, you need to remove the residue. After you blend it, you need to strain the fruit juice.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then for grains, if you are taking rice, go for white rice instead of brown rice. Yeah.
Okay.
Same goes to bread. If you are taking bread, go for white bread instead of whole grain bread or wholemeal bread. Yeah. So another tips is, because I realized that when we in our cooking line, some of the people will actually add or introduce or incorporate legumes such as peas, chickpeas, green beans, or red beans into their cooking. So yeah, we don't for those who have certain condition, we don't really advise to add this type of reduce.
That's a lot of information on fiber, but what about protein, Krystal? What do you advise on protein intake?
So other than fiber, we have discussed, actually protein is a major nutrient that we need to emphasize on, especially for cancer patients who are undergoing treatments. So what is the functions of protein? The main functions of protein is actually help us to build and repair our tissues. So like, I believe that everyone has muscle, right?
I think so.
Okay, so the main food for our muscle is actually protein. If you don't take enough protein, then you are not able to tone up your muscle, and you're not able to look smart.
Like Krystal, yeah.
Okay, so for cancer patients, the main reason why we emphasize is actually because if we take sufficient protein, it can help us to maintain a good nutritional status, and it will speed up your recovery process after you completed your treatments. And while receiving treatments, it will also help you to reduce the risk of getting infections and maintain maintain a good immune systems. So besides that, it will also help you to cope better with the side effect of treatments.
Okay, so what I understand, I think what we all understand is that protein source comes from meat and also plant, right? So which one would you actually recommend most to consume? Animal, plant, which one?
Actually, it depends because again, just now we did mention that there's no single food that can provide all essential nutrients for us. So like for example, like for those who still undergoing treatments, and if their red blood cell or hemoglobin is lower than the average range, we will suggest to go for animal proteins. Yeah, because it contains higher vitamin B12 and all the essential amino acid for us. So
okay, but what I see from here is that the fat content is quite high. So how do we cope with that?
Yeah. So that's why for animal proteins, we will advise patients to take during treatment. But for those who survive in the long term, for those who are living cancer with a long term, we will emphasize more on what plant proteins, because this is because recent research has shown that if we take plant-based food, actually can help us to reduce the cancer risk or cancer recurrence.
Oh, okay. So earlier you mentioned for fiber you need 30 grams a day, right? Ideally, but what about protein? Like, is there a specific calculation or a specific amount that you need to take as well as similar as fiber?
There's a specific calculations for our daily protein needs. So it's actually based on our body weight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need to we calculate our protein requirements every day based on our body weight. So as what we can see here, for normal people, the recommendation is 0.5 to 1 gram per kilogram per day. And for those normal cancer patients, like those cancer patients just diagnosed but haven't gone through any treatments yet, the protein requirement is 1.0 to 1.2. How about for those who are undergoing treatments? We were advised to go for 1 to 1.2 and up to 2 grams per kilogram per day.
Okay.
So for example, let's say if a cancer patients who are undergoing treatments, we need to calculate for the protein requirements for them based on their body weight. So let's say the patient's body weight is 50 kilogram. So we will use 50 kilogram multiplied with 1.2 gram per kilogram per day. So we will get a total requirements of 60 gram per kilogram protein requirement for this patient.
I see. Okay, but the same question again. Is there like any side effects of consuming too much of protein? Because we all know too much of everything is actually bad. But what are the side effects of consuming too much of protein?
Actually, according to research, there's no significant serious side effects reported. Yeah. So, but I believe because I realized that most of the people will ask the questions that if I'm taking too much protein, will it cause my uric acid higher? Or will I get gout problem? But actually for this issue, right, protein food is not the primary cause, but food that high in fat and alcoholic beverage are the cause of gout. So like other than that, for certain people, right, for certain people like cancer patients who who have acute or chronic kidney failure, we don't really recommend them to take a lot of proteins. Yeah, so we will try to limit it. We will suggest to limit up to 1.2 gram per kilogram per day, unlike other normal cancer patients.
I see, okay. I recently read an article actually, they said that red meat consumption is better than white meat. Is that true?
Okay, so it actually depends. It's again depends on patient's conditions. So like like what we have discussed just now, if patients is undergoing treatments and their red blood cell hemoglobin is low, is very low, then we will suggest them to take red meat. Yeah,
Okay.
because red meat contains iron, high iron, zinc, and vitamin B12 and vitamin B12. So with these combinations of nutrients, right, it's very useful for us to make the red blood cells. Yeah. So but we need to be aware that we don't recommend. We need to be aware of the fat content as well. Yeah, because for red meat, the fat content is higher if
So
compared to
it
white
doesn't
meat.
mean if it's a good thing you need to overconsume because of the fat content. So that can also contribute to a negative impact as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So for those who are living with cancer for long term or for general population, we will emphasize more on white meat rather than
Like chicken,
Yeah.
turkey, fish.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so but what are your recommendations for red meat specifically? Are there any recommendations?
Yeah, because due to the fat content, yeah, we do have limitations for red meat consumptions. So according to World Cancer Research Fund, we are not advisable to take red meat up to more than 3 servings per week.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do we count as 1 serving? So 1 serving of red meat is equivalent to 1 palm size.
See, again, the hand is the most important tool, the most powerful tool to measure your food intake.
Yeah. So like if let's say like when we look at Darshini, so Darshini is small size, right? Definitely her palm size is smaller than others. So yeah, so her recommendation is definitely lower than others.
I see, okay.
So other than that, what we want to highlight here is we are limiting consumption of red meat, but we will still advise certain group of people to take red meat, right? But for processed meat such as bacon, sausage, ham, hot dog, these are grouped as processed meat. So this type of meats we need to avoid totally.
Yeah, see, even at home, my brother, right? He would actually go to my mom and say, make me sausage, make me ham and hot dog and all, because red meat, it's obviously more, every content of the nutrient is actually more higher, but if it's processed, obviously it's not healthy, right? When I tell at home, nobody listens to me, but I will definitely show them this video to get him to understand. And Krystal, we have one question here from our audience. Miss Joey Young actually asked a question. Does cancer patient only can choose organic food? So how do you address that?
Okay. So when we discuss organic food and inorganic food, I don't think this is a matter for us to highlight because what we want is the content of the nutrients.
Okay.
Yeah. So because this is like a processing method here. Yeah. So we are not discussing on processing method, but we will emphasize more on nutritious food. So yeah.
So it actually doesn't matter.
So
it's
yeah.
organic.
So all type of food, regardless is organic, produce or anything, is actually the same. The nutrients content are.
See, even I was a bit confused on that, but thank you for highlighting that and enlightening. So I hope you got your question answered. And I think we are at the end of our session.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, we have got another question from Miss Ines, asking that protein intake should be based on ideal body weight. Is there a cancer? If there is a cancer patient but she's underweight, protein intake should be calculated based on her current weight or her ideal weight? Yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. This is a very clinical questions. Like for example, like for those patients who are underweight, normally I will use I will use the minimum recommended weights for her. So I will use 18.5 kilogram per meter square of BMI, and I will calculate the weights for her. So maybe her weight I will use to calculate body weight is higher than her current weight.
So basically, you'll be using her ideal body weight to calculate her
Yes.
intake, is it? Okay. So the next question from Mr. Amin, he asked, how about sugar intake? Can cancer patients consume sugar in their daily routines?
Okay, so for those who presented with cancer disease, so again, sugar is not a big matter for us because sugar still provide energy for us, for our body cells to function.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we basically we are not only getting sugars from coffee or what tea, anything. Yeah, we also get sugars from our rice, our carbohydrate foods like rice, mee, noodles, or mihun, or corns. Yeah, all these we can get sugars from all these. Just the processing time. So if you take sugar from tea or coffee, so it's like refined sugars. So when we get it, our blood sugar will spike up very fast. Yeah, so it's like unhealthy sugar. But for cancer patients, it's not a big issue. So because the most important thing is we need to keep you eating. So because still remember that we want to achieve and maintain an ideal body weight.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Mr. Zach Hamid actually asked, he said he's vegetarian, but he's worried to eat salad. So do you have any recommendations for him?
Is she on any chemotherapy or? Yeah, actually it depends. Yeah, so if patients are receiving any treatments, or especially chemotherapy, radiotherapy, or operations, or after patients get operations, we need to emphasize on protein. You still can practice your vegetarian diet, but you need to take more soy products. Yeah, just now we have discussed that other than soy, all vegetarian proteins do not contain all essential amino acids that our body needs to make body cells.
So maybe you can give him a few tips of what kind of food he can consume, like what kind of meals.
Okay, so if you are practicing vegetarian diet, so you can go for you can choose you can choose tofu, fujo, or any legumes as your protein source.
Okay, all right. So there's a question from Moon Louis Siu. She asked, should we take lean meat by removing all the fatty parts, especially the chicken skin? Yeah, actually that is also one of the questions. What do you say?
Yeah, actually she pointed out a very good, she has raised up a very good point. So when we take meat, we will go for lean meat. Yeah, it's best for us to remove the fatty parts.
The skin,
the skins, and also when we do food preparations, right, we can find out the yellow parts of the chicken, right? That's the fats, so we need to
remove that. That's the most yummiest part of the chicken, right?
Yeah. But still we need to limit it.
Okay, another question from Ms. Anna Koe. How about carbohydrate for cancer patients? Many advise avoid taking. What is your advice? Are carbohydrates advisable for cancer patients? What's your take?
Okay. If you're not a diabetic patient, then you are free to take carbohydrates because carbohydrate contribute energy to us, to our body. So when we don't take carbohydrate, if we don't take enough carbohydrate every day, so we will feel no energy, and then we cannot perform our daily activities. So just now we have discussed that the main food for our muscle is actually protein. But now the main food for our brain and all other body cells are carbohydrate or sugars.
Okay. Another question. Now this is a very interesting question because this is in trend right now. Would you suggest a ketogenic diet for cancer patients?
Ketogenic diet for cancer patients.
Would you suggest that?
Actually, how to say, for cancer patients, it depends. If the cancer patients already completed the treatments and she is overweight or obese, I might suggest to her or to him or her. But for those who are still undergoing treatments, I don't really recommend that. Yeah, because actually ketogenic diet is considered a fat diet. We cannot practice this diet longer than 3 months.
I see.
Yeah.
So another question. We also see a lot of ads saying that brown sugar is better than white sugar. Brown sugar is better than white sugar. So Miss Shirley Low actually asked, is brown sugar really better than white sugar?
It's just again when we discuss about this, right? When we compare between brown sugar and white sugar, is again we will touch on the processing method. But basically the nutrient content is the same.
I see. Okay, so there's no particular thing that brown sugar is better than white sugar. Is it because it's low calorie or something?
No, it's not about the nutrient contents. So the calorie is the same thing. Yeah.
What about honey?
Honey is also grouped under refined sugar. It's the same group as brown sugar and refined sugar.
So let's say one takes 1 spoon of white sugar and 1 spoon of honey. Which one would you recommend? Is there a particular thing that you would recommend, or both is fine?
Both are fine. Yeah, because both are from a similar group.
I see. So it's actually usually it's just the marketing thing where they say honey is better, brown sugar is better than white sugar, because they always say white sugar is more fattening, right?
Yeah, we are talking about we are talking on the major nutrients, the macronutrients, like sugar and calories. Yeah.
Okay, right. What about milk? Miss Linda Ho, she asked, what about milk? Is milk healthy or not? Is it bad?
Definitely milk is healthy. Yeah, even me myself, I will take milk every single day. Yeah. Okay. So milk is a source of protein. Other than that, it also contains high vitamin D and calcium. Yeah, it will help us to maintain a healthy bone system and muscle.
Okay, Miss Dana Mariani asked, my friend is undergoing chemo. Hard to eat because he's having a bad gout too. How to manage his diet?
For this type of patients, first thing we need to go for lean meat, and we will also monitor her uric acid and see how. For this type of patients, right, we need to really closely monitor the patients.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after we give our interventions, then we will see how's the progress of the patients. Then we will make adjustment. But the main priorities is we will go for lean meat first.
Lean meat first. Oh.
So which is low fat.
Miss Mom asked, how much of egg can one take a week? How much of egg? How many?
Okay. Yeah. So if you don't have any cholesterol problem, just to clarify that eggs is no longer considered a high cholesterol food. Yeah, because I think
because they say that yolk is usually because high cholesterol. Right?
Yeah, because people last time we used to categorize it as high cholesterol food, but now we already removed from the list because we highly see that if patients consume a lot of eggs, it will cause hypercholesterolemia or heart disease. Instead, in fact, when they take a lot of animal skins, actually the main primary cause of hypercholesterolemia or heart disease is from saturated fat, which come from animal skins, animal fats,
not
and butter. Yeah, but not eggs.
So Miss Yvonne, you can have all the egg that you want.
You can, yeah. If you don't have any issue with your cholesterol, you can take alternate. You can take two eggs in alternate day.
2 eggs alternate day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good portion. Ms. Tan Yu Jin asked, I love coffee. Is 1 coffee a day alright?
Okay. Yeah. So for coffee consumption, right? Because what we concern for coffee is the caffeine content. So we still need to limit the coffee consumptions. So for not more than 1 to 2 units a day.
Not one.
Not more than 1 to 2 cups a day.
Oh, okay. Right. Back to Miss Linda Ho, she asked an additional question. She said for chicken, she was recommended to take kampung chicken instead of commercial chicken. I think that's a very good question, because I think a lot of people out there have the same doubt. So what is your recommendation? Kampung chicken or commercial chicken?
I don't really have a fixed recommendation for that. You can either go for kampung or commercial chickens. Yeah, but as long as you take enough proteins. So still remember that for a meal, you need about 1 palm size of protein. Yeah. So just it's not a matter of kampung or commercial.
That doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. So I think the question got answered. Cheese, is it recommended for cancer patients?
how to say, yeah, because cheese is a fermented product. So for those cancer patients who are undergoing chemotherapies, normally doctors will not recommend them to take it.
To take cheese.
Yeah, but still, the according to research, there's no strong evidence saying that if you take cheese, it will cause patients to get infections. So yeah, so actually this and also after considering that cheese is a good source of protein for some patients whose blood result, like for example, white blood cells are in the normal range, we will still recommend them to take cheese.
So do you have any recommended amount that she could actually use as a guide?
Okay, so for one serving cheese is 2 slices.
2 slices.
Yeah. So you can take it together with your bread.
And melt it a bit. It's really good. Miss Tareen Fong asked, is brown rice better than white rice?
So it's the fiber content.
Back to the fiber content again.
Yeah, back to the fiber content. So we'll discuss this on in terms of the fiber content. So for brown rice, definitely brown rice contains higher fiber than white rice. Yeah. So if to maintain a general good health, we will advise to go for high fiber, which is brown rice. You can take brown rice. But for those who have certain conditions, like after operations on abdominal sites, or after the doctors remove a part of your colon, then we will go for low fiber.
So it really depends on your condition actually, of how much, whether brown rice is better or white rice is better.
But the carbohydrate content are the same. The significant difference between brown rice and white rice is fiber content.
The fiber content, not the calories or what. Because they always say, if you want to lose weight or if you want to maintain optimal health, they will ask you to take brown rice. It's usually the conversation. But now that we understand that it's the same amount of nutrients, so I think the bigger role here is the fiber content, right?
Yes.
Okay, our cancer survivor, Miss Po Chu Chua, asked, what type of cooking oil would you recommend for our Malaysian cooking?
Okay. Yeah, it's a very common question also from our patients, because when I do dietary consultations also, this is a common question I get from them. So how to say because in Malaysia, if our local context, right, we don't really eat raw food like salads. Yeah, we don't practice that. So that's why when you ask me about what kind of oils for cooking, I would say any type of cooking oil you can see in the supermarket, then you can get it for cooking. Yeah, but not those like olive oil or like almond oil. So all this oil is considered good oil. So we don't use it for cooking, because when this type of oils, right, when we prepare it under high temperature, it will turn to bad fat.
I see.
Yeah. So but in Western country, they always use this type
for
oil,
fresh food, right?
Yeah, for salad or just for dressing purpose. But for Malaysia, we hardly do that. That's why, I don't think it's useful for us, unless you take salad every day or you take fruits every day, and then you can combine. You can add the good oil to it.
Okay. What about kimchi, fermented food like kimchi? I think a lot of people out there love Korean food. So, what's your take on kimchi? Is it healthy for cancer patients?
For kimchi, because for cancer patients, we would like to emphasize on high calorie and high proteins. Yeah. So, but for kimchi, there's not much protein there. Yeah, there's not much protein protein content or nutrients, because already under process. Yeah, so you can take it, but try to limit it, because it will be a barrier for you to consume more nutritious food.
Yeah, that's true. Beatrice asked, is dairy products generally not advisable for cancer patients?
Same goes to the milk, because dairy products. Because the example of dairy products are cheese, yogurts, and milk, right? So they are actually grouped under the same food group. So for cancer patients, normally I don't restrict them from taking this. Yeah, because this is a very good source of protein. And also when cancer patients undergoing treatments, right, their appetite, they will have low appetite.
Yeah.
So they they're able to eat sufficient food.
Mm.
So when they take something sweet or when they take something like liquid, we will encourage them to take more food.
I see. So the dairy product will actually encourage their appetite, is it? Is that what you see?
Dairy product is an alternative way for us to increase their protein and calorie.
Okay. So Shirley Low asked, how about fried food? I heard cancer patients shouldn't take fried food. What is your advice on this?
As long as, of course, it's best we don't ask our patients to go for high fat food like fried foods. But if patients has low appetite and she really urged or very eager to take fried food, then once in a while I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, because we all have cravings once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for all your questions. And before we wrap up, Krystal, would you like to give one good message to all our audience out there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I want to say something to you guys. So because in view of the COVID-19 outbreak, your treatments might be delayed. Like for some patients, they just diagnosed, maybe their treatments will be delayed. But and you may feel very anxious about your disease. Instead, what you can do now is to eat a healthy diet and maintain the weight before treatment starts. Eat adequate protein and calories during and after treatments. And for those who are living with cancer for a long time, please continue your good work. And please continue your good work by using Malaysian Healthy Plate as a guideline for you to eat a balanced meal.
All right, thank you so much everyone for joining this live session. We hope you got some great insightful tips, and for all the question and answers, I think with the questions, many people out there would also have the same similar questions which already got answered. So we hope you have benefited from this live session. So thank you everyone once again, and have a great weekend.
Thank you everyone.